Hey everyone, Mary Ellen Banakin, Sue Jennings, Real Estate Ladies of North Atlanta. How you doing today, Sue? Good?
I'm great, Mary Ellen. How are you?
I'm good. So let's dive into the things we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the 2024 Metro Atlanta real estate statistics. Ooh, we got numbers today. We're going to talk about a new subdivision, Creekside by Aston Woods, and that's in Dawsonville. And we're going to talk a little bit about Dawsonville. That's an interesting area that is up and coming for younger people moving up there. We're going to talk about what we love about North Atlanta is the iconic attractions that everybody sees. The Georgia Aquarium, the Coca-Cola, Piedmont Park, Beltline, all that kind of stuff. And then we are going to add into our design tip of the day, which is add statement mirrors into our decor. All right, so let's dig right into our community, Creekside by Aston Woods.
Gosh, I love Ashton Woods. They build such beautiful homes, don't they, Mary Ellen?
They do. They definitely do. They're just so cute. Tell us a little bit about Dawsonville, Sue.
Right. Well, I don't know a lot about Dawsonville. I've sold homes there, and it's an up and coming area for sure, especially for younger families, which is interesting because you can get a lot for your money in Dawsonville. But the neighborhood of Creekside has, Ashton Woods has done a great job of blending the local landscape and culture into this neighborhood. You're actually less than a mile from the shores of Lake Lanier and the heart of Dawsonville itself, which has lots of cute little shops and stores and so forth, restaurants for you to go to. So there are a collection of single family homes in Creekside, and you're right at the foothills of the North Georgia mountains. I don't know if anybody knew that at this point, but this whole neighborhood is surrounded by great golf courses, natural woods, natural creeks, things like that. So you can, easily from this location, you can go to the regional farmers market. You can get fresh, locally sourced ingredients, and also spend a day at the North Georgia Premium Outlet shopping, which is really close by. But anyway, the community features single family homes with 4 to 5 bedrooms, 2 to 5 bathrooms, half baths as well. The size of these homes are 2,801 square feet to 3,779 square feet.
Yep.
They can be 2 to 3 stories high. They have 2-car garages, and there are basically 4 home plans available. You've got easy access to Georgia 400. You've got a short commute to the University of North Georgia, for instance. You've got close access to the boat docks and all at Lake Lanier. The elementary school is Kilo. I think I'm saying that pronouncing that correctly.
It's Kilo Elementary School.
Yes.
And it's 2.3 miles away.
Right. And then there's Dawson County Middle School and Dawson County High School.
Yeah, and what's so great is you're so close to the mountains here. It's wonderful. You're so close to the mountains, and you got the shopping, and it's not that far from coming. So I think
no, it's really not.
You just shoot straight up 400. So if you're not from here, 400 goes from like pretty much Buckhead all the way up to the mountains, right?
So it kind of ends. If you think of the Beltway around Atlanta, 400 shoots out at 12 o'clock.
Yep.
And goes due north.
It just goes north and just keep going north. So it's not far from coming, and I think it's very affordable. It's really a place that's affordable right now for people. So
right.
All right. Well, Creekside by Ashton Woods in Dawsonville. Let us know. We have a bunch of clients that that live in Dawsonville, and they love it. It's the new coming. That's what I think, right?
Yes.
All right. So let's dig into 2024 Metro Atlanta real estate stats, which is really interesting. And what we're going to do is Sue is going to talk about detached homes first.
Mhm.
Then we'll talk about attached homes.
Right. So what this is it's from the First Multiple Listing Service, FMLS, and this is their statistics overview. We're going to talk about December and then all of 2024 as it compared to 2023. So first of all, with detached homes, single family detached homes, there were 4,736 closings in the Metro Atlanta area in December of 2024 alone. And this is actually an increase of 14% over what it was in December of 2023. The average sale price of these homes was $507,100 in December of 2024. This was up from $487,507 in December of 2023. So roughly a $20,000 increase year over year.
Perfect.
For year to date, through December of 2024, there were 59,641 closings in Metro Atlanta in the year 2024 for single family detached homes. This was an increase of about 1% over the prior year of 2023. The average sales price overall year to date through December 2024 was $513,914 versus $489,365 for year to date 2023. So, again, you've got roughly a $25,000 increase there. That was a 5% increase year over year. And then inventory. So there were 15,426 active listings at the end of December 2024 versus 11,283 the previous year. That was an increase of 37%. So there are more homes on the market at this point than there were a year ago. So now I'm going to talk about attached homes. So this is townhouses, condos, homes of that sort. So there were 993 closings in the month of December 2024 of attached homes. That actually was down 7% from the previous December. And the average sales price of an attached home was $412,329 versus $392,711 the previous December. So that was an increase of about $20,000.
Right.
Year over year, attached homes, there were 12,850 attached homes that were sold during the 2024, all of 2024. And that was actually down 6% from year to date 2023. The average sales price for attached homes was $400,693. In 2023, it was $386,614. So there was an increase there of about $14,000. That was a 4% increase. Active inventory for attached homes actually has increased significantly. It's up about 50%. And I believe this is really due to the amount of new construction we have in the area of townhomes and so forth. So that makes a whole lot of sense there. And that's about it for 2024.
What does this mean? Like if someone was to say to you, like, I think people still feel like the market's going to crash or things are going to go down. We're seeing increase after increase every single month throughout the year. So what would be some advice to a buyer right now that says, I'm just going to wait for interest rates to go down and I'm going to wait till the market crashes? What would you say?
Well, first of all, as far as interest rates, if you look at interest rates historically, we're actually in a very healthy position right now as far as interest rates are concerned. So now's a great time to buy a home. You've got some inventory to choose from. Sometimes we have no inventory. Right now, we do have inventory. If rates do go down, just refinance the home in the future. But I really do think that do not be afraid of the current interest rates. We are in a very healthy situation, and now is a great time to buy a home.
So, and if interest rates go down, then more people are going to be in the market because
Right.
they're not getting educated by their realtors or by the market. They just are they're in their minds. They're like, I am not going to buy until interest rates are certain. So even if the interest rates go down, that means more people are going to be in the market. So what does that do? That drives the price up. So you're going to end up, even though the interest rates are going to go down, you're going to end up spending more for a house than you could if you bought something now. And I think what's good about now is that we're really in a healthy real estate market, which means that buyers can still kind of get a deal depending on if something has been sitting for a while. Certain properties you can get a little bit of a deal on, but then certain properties, when they're priced to sell, are getting multiple offers. So we're seeing both sides of the picture, depending on the neighborhood and the area and the type of home too.
Yeah, it really does vary by neighborhood and area. I absolutely agree with you on that. There are just some hot areas, little pockets that the homes are selling much faster than in other areas. And that's pretty normal.
That's why you need someone who knows the market and knows the area and lives in the area and can tell you how the area is doing. So remember, the numbers we just talked about was all of Metro Atlanta. So Atlanta's huge. Atlanta's huge. I don't know when people say Atlanta, like they can say Atlanta, mean Alpharetta, but Atlanta's, 30 minutes south, so it's kind of one of those things that this is the whole entire area. And as you get hyper local in your neighborhoods and stuff, and there are neighborhoods that are just sitting, and there are neighborhoods that are flying off the market. So there's really, it's price point, it's the type of home and everything else. So any other advice for anybody who would like to, how about sell this year?
Well, I also think it's a great time to sell. I mean, as you can see, people do have more confidence in the market. We're showing that there are more listings year over year from what there were a year ago. And that just tells me that people are much more confident in this market than they were a year ago. So it's a great time to list your home.
Yeah. And I think that 50% of people have so much equity in their house that they could use that equity to buy a second home. They can just cash out now and just kind of move on.
Well, they can also use that equity to be a move-up buyer and, move from their starter home to, their forever home. So that's a great option. Make sure that, you've got the kids in the schools that you want them in, the location as far as where your work is located, and just the amenities that you want in your home as well as in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, good advice. So I think we went through the numbers. I know numbers can be boring sometimes. We're trying to make it exciting. So, what would you do this year? So I think 2025 is a great year to buy and sell. I mean, I think that there's advantages to both sides of the coin. We're not right now. This moment, we're not in a crazy market. But who knows? I mean, the spring always brings some interesting mix. So we'll see what happens in the next month or two.
Yeah. So I want to encourage our listeners to tune in. We are about to do another podcast on what you can buy in terms of like a $750,000 purchase in the Alpharetta and Milton area. That podcast will be coming up very soon, and we'll be giving you examples of homes and amenities with those homes in that price point.
All right, great. Well, we talked about our stats. We talked about Creekside by Asthon Woods in Dawsonville, and now we're going to dive into what we love about North Atlanta. And what we love about North Atlanta is the iconic attraction. Everybody talks about it all over the world, like the aquarium and the Coca-Cola and the zoo. And you're like, really?
Yeah, anyway. Well, those whale sharks at the aquarium.
I know.
The penguins and the dolphins. They're
so fun. We're so spoiled, aren't we? We're so spoiled being in Atlanta because you know what? It's just like the aquarium. Everyone's like, I'm like, oh, I've been there a million times. It's so cool. And people come from all over the world to see the aquarium here or Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Coca-Cola, you can taste all the flavors.
I know, from all around the world. And some of them are disgusting. Some of them are great, and some of them are like, oh. And you can get kind of, yeah. So you can
Yeah,
taste
but you
any kind
gotta
of.
love the white polar bear that Coca-Cola has,
Of
and
course, of
yeah, you
course,
gotta
of
love
course.
that. And
Although
then
we're Pepsi girls from the north, so it's very
no,
interesting.
no, no, no. I've always been a Coca-Cola girl. Coca-Cola is Atlanta's drinking water. Don't you know that?
Oh, there you go. So there you learned a fact today. What is here's a joke. What is Atlanta's drinking water? Coca-Cola. Okay. Chick-fil-A too, right?
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you can grab your Coca-Cola, you can grab your Chick-fil-A and go for a walk in Piedmont Park, or on the Beltline. That's so iconic in Atlanta as well. And that Beltline keeps expanding and growing, and they keep adding pieces to it all the time, which is great. I like to take my bike and go down and take a ride on the Beltline. It was really funny this winter. We actually had snow for a day, and people were taking all kinds of things, trays and air mattresses and everything else, and sledding in Piedmont Park, which is really unusual.
But you know what's the best time at Piedmont Park is the spring
Hmm.
with all the flowers and the weather's so gorgeous. And it really is. It's like you would never expect in the middle of Midtown, all of a sudden you have this beautiful park.
Oh, well, Atlanta Botanical Gardens bumps right up to it. I mean, that's my
Exactly.
absolute favorite place in the whole city is Atlanta Botanical Gardens. You have to go to Atlanta Botanical Gardens. The parking is easy there. They've just got gorgeous displays that rotate throughout the year. It's so much fun in the winter, with their light shows, and in the summer. I mean, last year they had, Alice in Wonderland. It was just beautiful, beautiful. But in the city, there's also historic sites such as Martin Luther King's National Historic Site. It's a reminder of Atlanta's history. Another iconic place in the city is Ponce City Market. There's so many restaurants and shops there, and go up to the roof. The roof is just a great place to go there just to hang out, to get a great views of the city and so forth. And maybe from there, you can even see Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Which is the home to our Atlanta Falcons and so forth. And don't forget, when you're in the city, to get some concert tickets to Fox Theater. There's
Oh,
so many
that's so
different
great. It's kind of like being in New York
productions.
a little bit, like at least you can see shows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you go to other cities and there's no shows, I mean, there's nothing like New York. I'm from New York. We all know that. And we know and love New York, but it's nice that you can actually go to the Fox and see some great shows as well. So
Right.
that's kind
So
of cool.
there's so many things like this in Atlanta that keep people coming back for
What
more
about
time
Jimmy
and time
Carter
again.
stuff? All the Jimmy Carter stuff that's
Yeah.
around, the library and everything else. I mean,
Right.
Jimmy Carter was from Georgia, so there's just so much history with him and everything in Atlanta. So
Yeah. Atlanta was built in a forest. And so Atlanta has so many trees. It's very much it's just so green compared to a lot of cities. And like when you get onto Georgia Tech's campus, for instance, and you walk around, you don't even realize you're in a city until you look up and you see like the Coca-Cola building or see some of the iconic, high-rise buildings that are in the city. And it's just a really, really unique environment.
yeah, there's so many great buildings and so many great things, great shopping, great food, great everything about all the iconic attractions in Atlanta. So
Mhm.
thanks for giving us that information. So let's dig into our design tip of the day. And we're going to talk about adding statement mirrors in our decor. So let's
Mhm.
dig into that, Sue.
So, one of my favorite places to get mirrors, people ask me this, where do I buy mirrors? I mean, recently I purchased 6 mirrors for all different rooms for different reasons, different shapes, different
Wait, Sue is
finishes.
building a house right now. So it's not that she's just randomly picking out, but she is in the middle of building a beautiful house in downtown Alpharetta.
Thank you.
That's why
Thank you.
that's why she picked out 6 mirrors. That's not normal.
But my mirrors came from, get this, Wayfair. Yeah.
Really?
Yes,
No
my
way.
mirrors came from Wayfair. The beauty of Wayfair is that they have so many different things for you to choose from as far as shapes, finishes, sizes, and so forth. And, there's some metrics online that you can check out if you need to know how large of a mirror can go over your vanity. I always try to go as large as possible on those mirrors because mirrors can add light to the room. They can make the room feel bigger. And they just make a space feel brighter. So I always like to invest in mirrors. It's actually very inexpensive artwork, especially if you can position the mirror in a place where it reflects something really pretty, like the tree outside your window and things like that in the background. So, look at their frames. You want to go maybe with bolder frames, something that adds a little bit of character to the room. Some unique shapes are out there. You want to have them create like a focal point, and they add a sophistication to any room. Like I said, they were actually very inexpensive artwork. But you can strategically place them to reflect natural light in the space, enhance the brightness of the room, and create an illusion of depth. And you can make small spaces actually appear much larger because of that. So you can hang them over a fireplace. You can hang them in an entryway. You can hang them in a stairwell. You might want to consider getting a full-length mirror someplace that makes a statement, like at the end of the hallway is a great place to put a full-length mirror. It really can, play tricks with the size of the space. It creates ambiance. It's a versatile decor. It works with any style of decor that you have. And they're classic. They add elegance and functionality.
Yeah. I mean, mirrors. I mean, and it's interesting because, like you said, you go into people's houses and they have mirrors all over the place and different things. So they're trying to get a different tone of the specific room with a mirror. So it's not only for bathrooms.
No, I always like to hang a mirror on the back of my closet door so that I can actually, while I'm getting dressed, stand there and see what the whole outfit looks like.
See what we look like, right? Instead of randomly going out. I mean, that's why you need to, okay, I want to ask, this is a question to our viewers. When you want to see yourself look in a mirror, like I actually have this mirror in my bathroom, and I actually stand by the tub to see my whole body, the whole thing, because I don't have a full-length mirror. I don't know why, I just don't, but it's something that I do. So I want to know, where do you have your mirrors? And when you're looking at your whole outfit, where do you stand? Are you in your closet? Are you in your bathroom? Are you in your bedroom? I'm in my bathroom when I look at myself when I get dressed. What about you, Sue? Are you in your closet?
A lot of times I'm in my closet. Yeah. But I also have another tip on a great place to buy mirrors, and that's Home Goods. I love Home Goods, but Home Goods always has a great variety of mirrors.
But when you see it, you got to buy it. That's the thing. So when you go to a place like Home Goods, it's you can't go, well, I'll go see next week or whatever, and then it's not there anymore. So yeah.
Right.
So that's the one thing about Home Goods. But honestly, yeah, you can find all kinds of home treasures in Home Goods.
Yeah, I've recently actually bought a mirror in Target too.
There you go.
It was for my daughter's powder room. She actually paid the bill for it. I was with her when she picked it out. But it's really got an awesome frame, and it fit her space so nicely. And so
Sue is for hire. If you'd like to hire her to find you a mirror, because that's what she does for her daughter. I mean, she found a mirror. I know, isn't it great? All of our kids are, have their own houses and stuff, and they're always asking for some advice, and it's nice to be able to, but so if you do need a mirror, person, reach out to Sue. She can kind of guide you in the right direction.
I'd be happy to help.
Be happy to help. All right. Well, great. Anything else about mirrors? I think we kind of covered everything.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. We want to know where you have your mirrors in your house. So let us know that as well in the comments. Okay. So today we talked about the Metro Atlanta real estate stats. I know it's a little boring. We tried to make it exciting, but you know what? It all goes down to prices are going up. People are building equity in their house. So either move up, move out.
One thing we didn't mention, Mary Ellen, was how much rent is going up.
Oh my goodness.
That's the other reason why now's a great time to buy, because the longer you put your money into rent, it's just equity you could have in your home. And
yes. All the investors are making money because the rents are going up. So, and then we talked about Creekside by Aston Woods in Dawsonville, which is a new and upcoming area just north of Cumming. So if you're going north on 400, it's just north of Cumming. It's close to the outlets, shopping. It has a great downtown, and then you're really close to the mountains. So that's really
Ashton
exciting.
Woods is a nice builder too.
We do like Aston Woods. We talked about the iconic attractions of Atlanta, like Coca-Cola and the aquarium and Piedmont Park and Botanical Gardens, just really fun things that are iconic to Atlanta area. And we also have the best airport too, just so you know. I know that's not an iconic attraction, but I have to say, we have an international airport and a regular airport, and it's so big that people just go crazy over it, but it's a big airport.
It's a great airport. It really
It's nothing like Singapore airport. That's absolutely gorgeous. But, maybe we should take some, lessons in some of the other really pretty airports.
Our international airport's really pretty.
It really is pretty. It is pretty, but it doesn't have like a waterfall like Singapore. You know what I mean?
Well, not all of us fly to Singapore on.
I know, but just the reason why I said that is I have a friend who was in Vietnam and she had a layover in Singapore, and she was posting these photos today on how beautiful the Singapore airport is. It has these waterfalls and it's so pretty. And I was like, oh yeah, it is pretty. So, travel. Atlanta's the best place to travel. You can hop on a plane a lot of places without layovers. So you can see a lot of the world easier than if you lived in other cities. So I'll stop with that. And we talked about statement mirrors. If you need help with mirrors, reach out to Sue. She helps everybody with mirrors. So anyway, thanks for listening in. We're happy that you're here. We know the numbers are kind of boring, but hopefully you got something out of what we had to say today. And we'd love to hear your comments and anything else you'd like us to discuss, because we love talking about real estate and trends and new subdivisions and old subdivisions and all of the North Atlanta area. So the real estate ladies of North Atlanta say hi and bye, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.